We are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at CCR Carolina Classic Racing, and it is the season finale for the current season of the Aero88 series for these guys. We've got ourselves quite the championship battle on tap for tonight. It is Texas World, basically Michigan on steroids. Um, all but a super speedway race, especially with these CTS physics, and a 4-point gap between first and second in the championship standings. Dan Francesconi with that advantage by 4 points over Biscuit. Bandit is 25 back of the points lead. Unfortunately, doesn't look like he's gonna have a chance at it, but hey, he's still out here tonight, and we've got two drivers that are in it with a very, very legitimate chance, as we are showing, I believe, 13 drivers here tonight. So there could be a lot of swings going on here, and especially at a track like this. So basically, to cap it here, like I said, 4 points separating the number 16 of Den Francesconi and the number 97 of Biscuit. Biscuit with that 4-point deficit. So he is going to have to find a way to either lead a lap and hope that Den doesn't, and then finish like 4 positions ahead, or 5 positions ahead of Den if they both end up evening out as far as laps led goes. Of course, with this point system, it is a bonus point for leading a lap. I believe it is an additional one for most laps led. So if depending on kind of how that falls, obviously we'll try our best to keep track of that. But all in all, I'll just be trying to follow kind of where they're running, how the points look. It certainly makes things complicated if they tie, because they both have 2 wins on the season. I do believe it would then go to top 5s, which of course going into this race they are also tied on, but I would imagine, of course, one of those guys would probably finish top 5 and then the other one doesn't, for them to end up in that predicament. But it is also possible that they could both finish top 5 and end up tied. So there's a lot of unknowns in this thing, and I'm very, very excited as to what we are going to be seeing here tonight. We got already had Jason and Rick pop into chat there. Hello, both, and Adam Simonic also. I can't make it tonight, but we'll watch a little before going to work. Hey, appreciate you stopping by, my man. Thank you to everybody here at CCR who has been showing their support for not only these streams here at CCR, but just in general. You're on the channel. A lot of you guys over here at CCR have been coming on by, popping in the chat, seeing what was up, especially during the hobo streams. Means a lot. It really, really does. And I always say it, and I keep saying it until the cows come home. Just how much it means to me, just seeing the amount of support that everyone has had for these ultimately just kind of bare bones streams. Yeah, we're always trying to make them a little bit better. I'm definitely hoping to try and do something, but at the same time, when you're when you're kind of hitting like the end of summer blues, kind of, I can tell I've been in a little bit of a funk mentally ever since Louder Than Life ended, because that was such a big thing where you're hyping yourself up for it for months, and then it happens, and then it's over, and then you're like, okay, well, now what? What's the next big prospect that I have to look forward to? So I think right now that big prospect is probably next year's Louder Than Life, honestly. No, I will never shut up about that experience, because that's how much it means to me. But anyways, don't want to ramble too much here. We just got these guys into qualifying here. Of course, open setup as per usual for these guys. The Aero88 series does run fixed weather, clear 60 degrees. And like I said, this is Texas World. A very super speedway-esque type of track, but drives a lot like Michigan in a way. It will be a little bit of tire wear, so when you're in the draft, holding it flat out might prove to be a little too much to do. If anything, it wouldn't surprise me if this behaves at least a little bit like the Cup race did at Daytona last week, where you're not quite going to be able to go flat out, but as long as you get kind of the right way through the corner, you can get some good runs and see what you can get. Of course, that's how Dan Francesconi won in that thriller of a finish with that pass off of turn 4. Then also, of course, winning the race last week at Nashville to give himself this point lead over Biscuit. So both guys are here. Both guys ready to tear it up. Of course, we'll see where they qualify, but this is definitely a track where the qualifying positions probably won't be as crucial in terms of trying to maintain track position. Ryan Johnson also here tonight as well. He's got the most wins on the season, actually, with 3. However, he's actually only made a small handful of the starts. Well, not a small handful. He's run more than half the races, but he missed 3 of them. And that is why he is currently listed as 6th in the point standings. Coming into this race, the top 10 in the point standings, just to kind of clarify here, are Dan Francesconi, Biscuit, CCR Bandit, Donald Ritchie, Tex, Ryan Johnson, Tower, Jeff Havoc, Bob Bisconnor, Greg Stenzo, and Brad Otto are the top 10 in the standings coming into tonight. Obviously, that will cycle around quite a bit. Qualifying continues here. We just got a minute to go here, and then we'll be all set and know where everybody's going to be starting. 60 laps are on tap here for tonight. With a roughly, from what I recall for tracks like this, we're looking at about a 22 to 25 lap fuel window. That's going to be my estimation. And the garage is saying about 25 with a little bit of CTS fall off in there. It'll probably be closer to around 22 to 23. But some of these guys, if they're lifting a bit, could probably push it a little bit further. Obviously, we will find out for sure. But regardless, should put these guys into a very secure two-stopper. Green flag pit stops are definitely going to be interesting with 70 mile per hour pit road speed. And that's going to certainly wreak some havoc, I'm sure. And a pit road speed limit that begins very late, so you can really push it in there if you want to, if you're able to hold on to it, that is. Obviously, yeah. And of course, draft will be playing a big factor here with the CTS physics and a track very conducive to drafting. You'll see guys pushing. Again, it's a super speedway without being a super speedway. It is pretty much right on the cusp of, like, if Michigan is not quite a super speedway, but then you got Daytona and Talladega, this track lies like right in the middle. It's like that little half step between a bigger speedway and a full-on super speedway, if any of that made any sense at all. Let's see, taking a look here as qualifying has concluded. We've got Tex, the 085, on pole, 39.319 seconds. And he is ahead of Dan Francesconi, who will start on the outside of the front row in the 16. Biscuit's going to be right behind him in 4th, though, so that's going to be interesting. See how much those guys want to work together. Ryan Johnson will start 3rd, though, in that 59. Drivers that took lap times will be Brad Otto and Bandit. They will start 5th and 6th. Also starting tonight will be Jeff Havoc, Ken Hansen, Factoids, Bob Dixon, Greg Stenzo, Bob Bisconnor, Jason Dolfer. Looks like the full starting lineup there. Guys are just currently in their drivers' meeting. Again, this is the final race, race 12 of 12. of the season, although it's technically race 11 of 11 because I think these guys actually missed a race. But hey, regardless, schedule showed 12 races, so that's what we'll go with. And again, I will be doing my very, very best to keep up with points as they run. As these guys run out there. Happy hour, I will just mention. Tomorrow night we will be back at prime time for their Super Speedway Shootout, which is Sunday night or Saturday night shootout. And then Fast at Talladega on Sunday night. Of course, Talladega for Hobo then the following Tuesday. A lot going on. This has been a very, very busy stretch. But I'm excited for what these guys are going to be able to do tonight. So a thrill of a race at Nashville, even with only 2 cars on the lead lap at the end, it's still made for a very, very exciting finish. We got these guys hopping on track now to run a few final laps here and try and settle down any rust here or anything of that sort, as we'll get some live pictures here for you guys. There's Biscuit in the 97, the guy that's doing the chasing in the championship. That's Ken Hansen. That core is number 94. There's Ryan Johnson's 59. Jason Dolfer there. I'm going to sneeze. The sneeze never fails to come up at the worst possible time. Brad Otto in the 47. Greg Stenzo in the Marlboro, number 51. There's Greg. Pompous Connor, 38. And there he is. Current point leader, Dan Francesconi. An artist in his own right, both literally and also in regard to how he goes about driving in this game. I've got to learn a thing or two about the guy, and based on just kind of based on his history, the fact that he is able to be not only racing but competitive is a feat in its own right, and mad respect to Dan, no matter what happens here tonight, no matter where he ends up, winning the championship or not. He's got so much to be proud of to even be out here at the level that he's at. Oh goodness, he comes into pit and Bob was not ready for it, and now we've got Calamity. And here you kind of have a look. Oh, he gets a little squirrely, but I believe pit road speed begins right there at that line. I think that line further back is just a commitment line, which hopefully won't plague anybody. Of course, the jump there off of victory lane, which is always quite entertaining whenever anybody comes here to race. Pompous Connor's parked in victory lane there. Maybe that'll be the case. Maybe it'll be someone else parking up there. We will find out at the conclusion of this 60-lap event to wrap up the season. I may have been wrong about the 70-mile-per-hour pit speed. It looks like it might actually be 55 because that's where most guys are getting down to, which honestly, that makes way more sense. Though there are tracks that have 70-mile-per-hour pit speeds. I think Pensacola Superspeedway is one. Coca-Cola Superspeedway. I mean, obviously, these are fictional tracks. And Texas World is technically not a fictional track. Well, was Texas World really this wide? Maybe someone who knows a little more history than me can confirm that, because the track is wide. Which could make it even more interesting. Definitely think the inside lane is going to be the preferred place to be as far as making up ground. but with this kind of being more of a D-shaped track, it could certainly make things a little interesting here, as Biscuit's gonna ramp it off there. Subtly hoping that someone would do that. Everyone letting a little bit loose here for the final time this season. Of course, these seasons are very short, and they run in fairly rapid succession. That's a great thing about CCR. I mean, it's a good group of guys here, a pretty committed group of guys, and kind of as we've alluded to before, but to any new viewers coming to see Carolina Classic Racing, these guys run pretty much every night of the week. Of course, obviously Friday nights, Aero88s. Saturday, they run the vintage truck mod, the newest mod, the VTR or VTS 65, NXS 15 on Sunday nights, next gen mod on Monday nights. Tuesday is Gen 6 BR, and then Wednesdays, and this is interesting, the CWS 15 mod with cup physics. And then, of course, Thursday nights is the original Cup mod. We broadcasted that season finale last week. Of course, if interested in racing over here at Carolina Classic Racing, reach out to one of the admins over here. Pretty much anyone with that CCR tag on their name should be able to get you in.
Drivers, to your cars.
Drivers, to your cars. We are about to go racing at this crazy racetrack. Field taking shape. We'll go ahead and get some live pictures here. Let me also fix this here now that we actually... How about that? We actually have a proper lap counter. For tonight, at least. Hopefully that will last as time goes on. I definitely need to fix this though, because whenever it goes to double digits on the initial counter, it will cut off this number. It will cut off the second number, like in the 60 in this case. So if I leave it where it is, sure, you see the parenthesis for the first bit, and then that will go away. So it's a little bit annoying in that regard, but like I said, that's why I call myself the discount guy. We just winging it pretty much. But we have fun, and we put the word out about this incredible simulator that is still going very strong to this day, almost 23 years later. I mean, heck, where else are you going to see a darn highway in the background of the racetrack? Look at that traffic going by back there. Of course, these guys also paying tribute to their friend Den there at the billboard on the exit of turn 2 there, just before the waste management billboard. And Den being the artist that he is, both on and off track. Can he paint himself a picture in victory lane and with the championship trophy? We will find out. Or will Biscuit be able to snatch it away from him? Again, it is 4 points separating those guys. That will be the main talking point of the night. Of course, we will also find out who will end up winning this race, which should prove to be very competitive. Anybody here in this pack can get it done. I believe we got 12 drivers officially here for the start. And here we go. It's Tex and Francesconi on the front row. Green flag has flown, and away we go for the final time this season with the Aero88s. Oh boy. Fanned it all kinds of loose. on the initial start. Still loose. He's not going to be able to hold on to that one. That's the wall. Keeps it straight, though, if you guys check up, including Bisconder and Havoc. But no caution. That is really going to splinter the field, though, right out of the gate. For the lead for the first lap. Give it to Tex. But only just. Ryan Johnson was already to his inside there, taking a look. And these top four are now gone as everyone had to kind of tiptoe their way through 1 and 2. Trying to get the tires up to temperature. Brad Otto and Ken Hansen going side by side here. That's for 5th. Might want to sort that out there. Maybe try to draft the way back up there. And then, yeah, like I said, everyone's kind of scattered now. Bandage way back after his early mishandling there. Right now, Tex and Ryan Johnson in command with the 2 championship contenders right behind them. Obviously, Francesconi with the advantage. Chris already coming to this with that 4-point lead and currently ahead of his rival. But of course, we just started lap 4, so we're early to officially be calling it. But again, we will be trying to keep track of that as we go. All of these guys turning really, really high speeds. About a second plus faster than their qualifying laps. All thanks to that draft. Ken Hansen and Brad Otto got a little separation between them there. Greg Stenzo is trying to close in on them. Maybe try and increase the number of cars in that race. Try and close in on the top 4. Jason Dolfer is here, along with Bob Bisconder and Jeff Havoc. They are all in a draft. Question is, will they be able to try and make anything of trying to run down these top 4, albeit they are all pushing pretty hard and running very fast laps, about half a second faster than all those other guys. And Ryan Johnson was taking a peek there on that 085. He's not able to get it done. 085 gets a little bit too low, just about got the apron. And had to chase up the racetrack. The run's going to come to the 59. And here we go, side by side for the race lead going into 1. 085 will have the better arc. Ryan Johnson, the shorter way around. Who will prevail? Nobody at the moment. They were dead heat heading into 3. Biscuit had a bit of a run there on Francesconi. He thought about it. Looks like Biscuit for the time being is maybe just trying to save his stuff a little bit. Ryan Johnson, though, great corner. A not so good corner there for Tex. And Johnson takes the point, looking for win number 4 on this season. Then up to 2nd. Again, this is where the race is, up here in the top 4. They're all going at it. A shove to the 16 there from the R85. Ryan Johnson pushing up the track. Could that open the door for the 16? If he can get a lap led here, that would be huge. Give it 2. He got it. And that swing just became 5 points. And now Biscuit has to be understanding that and going, uh-oh. I might need to try and lead something here. Although now they're really racing it up. But with the draft, give the advantage to that outside lane as Tex is going to fall to the last car in this group. Ryan Johnson right now sticking with the 16 and will remain committed to him down the front stretch. Lap times are slipping back just a little bit for these guys, but of course they've been racing it up a bunch. And now Biscuit's going to go for that position. Although it looks like he might get a little bit tight there, and the run's going to go back to the 59. Enough of a run that he's going to try for the race lead. Once again. Ooh, that bottom lane looks like it is not working. These guys are starting to spread out here. Caution is out. Yep, I was starting to suspect that. And we may have had a spin in 1 and 2. I see a lot of smoke. Could be Brad Otto. Let's take a look. No, it was not Brad Otto. Oh! Jeff, Havoc, Tower, the old random engine failure. And then there's no power going to the rear wheels. The back end wants to switch around on you and spun him around. And Tower's night is over. That sucks. Yeah, not much you can do when the engine says your night's done. And yeah, when you've already got a car that's kind of on the edge of control, and then all of a sudden you take away all the power, the car naturally decelerates very quickly. Back end kicks out, spins you out. Not that that would have really mattered at that point. So everybody's going to come in here except that number 97. And you know what he's doing? He's getting that lap lead. And he got it. So while this is going to cost him track position with this call, that 4 points that got to 5 points is now back to 4 again. Everything is all square. Den, though, in a very awkward predicament with the angle that he's parked at. And he's going to have to back it up. Oh, no! Ryan Johnson. Don't know if he got hit or just lit up the tires, but yeah, he lost it. Gets into Tex. And with realistic damage, I don't know if that could end up affecting those guys. And even Den with backing up there, he's dropped back a bit here. It looks like the guy that is actually going to end up leading them off would be Greg Stenzo. Don't think Tex is too thrilled after what just transpired there. As Biscuit's going to bring it in, along with Jason Dolfer. Ken Hansen keeps it on the racetrack. A Red Coors machine. And is the game still scoring those two as the first two off of pit lane? Really? Wow. It looks like they're still kind of sorting it out at the moment. Ken Hansen, though, will be the race leader once scoring updates, at least for the time being, unless he opts to pit. Got just a little under halfway through the fuel run there. It's probably best to go ahead and pit here. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this may put these guys in a one-stopper. These guys might only have to pit again. Probably in the realm of lap 35, maybe 36. And then that should get them to the end. That'll be pretty much splitting it right down the middle. That's going to be about as long as you can go. Obviously, we'll find out. So this might be the play here for Biscuit and Dolfer. Brad Auto EOL. Wonder if Den will come in here. He's way low on the track, so he might. Let's see if anybody opts to top off here and maybe go for that strategy. Ken stays out, and looks like everybody's doing the same. Everybody must be feeling pretty good about making it from here on that one stop. And nope, I lied. Ken made a last-second decision, I guess. Wait, how late was that? I need to see that real quick. Not that late. This is him coming in. Yeah, he just kind of followed that yellow line, so. That's what I mean. It's a very wide entry. Of course, it closes up in a hurry. Lights are out on the pace car here. Start on lap 13. Tex will be the race leader. Does he have any damage, though, from that impact with Ryan Johnson on pit road? We will find out. Of course, Greg Stenzo is now second in the 51. Impressive there for that Marlboro machine. Ryan Johnson third. Bob Bisconner, Den Francesconi currently the top 5. Den, of course, with the advantage of the track position right now, has that championship in hold as they run. Biscuit will be 7th on this restart. Bandit is separating those two. Of course, we saw how treacherous the initial run on cold tires can be through 1 and 2. Let's see if that bites anybody here on this restart, which will be on that 14 of 60. That'll be 47 laps to go. Pace car with the turn. And after the first caution of the race, we are back to racing here at Texas World. In the season finale, and a great restart from the 59 is going to take advantage of that and jump ahead of Stenzo, who is either voluntarily dropping back or has a problem. Hard to say for sure there. Bandit looks like he's doing the same thing, just tiptoeing. And now Stenzo's getting at it, so yeah, I think that was a voluntary move. A run for Den Francesconi here. He will take a position here from Biscotti, who's going to lose it! And get into Biscuit, and then into the outside wall with the rear end. Yellow flag is out. Biscuit spinning as well. Does he have damage? Let's see what happened here. Office Connor getting passed by Den Francesconi here. Just loses it. And then bang into the outside wall. Almost an incident there between Otto and Hansen. Good save by those guys. Biscuit giving it a big spin, but never hit a thing. Just a slight glance and blow from the 38 when he was going around. So I think with a fresh set of tires, that number 97 should be just fine. As we are back live now. Gosh, I'm going to pretty well secure these guys making it on one stop from here. Couple fakers there, but we do have at least one taker with Brad Auto bringing it in. And the 47 and some other guys toward the back here. I did see Bandit get into the wall again. So may opt to fix that damage. If there's Bisconnor, you see him coming in. And of course, Biscuit's going to get a fresh set of tires on the number 97. Ensure that everything will be a-okay there. So far tonight, it is advantage 16. Obviously, still a good ways to go here. They're 15 laps away from the halfway point here in this one. So these guys are going to piece around here for a little bit so we get everything settled down after caution number 2. I'm going to take just a quick little breather here myself. So we'll just follow along with Tex here, and we'll get back going here in about a lap. All right. Field has 1 to green. Tex in the race lead. Ryan Johnson, Dan Francesconi, Ken Hansen, Greg Stenzo, the top 5. Second on Biscuit here. He's going to line up in the 8th position, just in front of Bandit. I do believe that, yep, Bisconnor did call it a night, as has, of course, after blowing an engine, was the 101. And Bob Dixon actually did not take the green. We only had 11 drivers who started this thing. We're down to 9. And again, with the even point here that Den and Biscuit have both led laps, it remains a 4-point gap. Of course, as they run, though, Den with the advantage. These two are looking pretty darn sporty up here, this 085 and 59. Of course, Tex did get pole Ryan Johnson started third. Still anybody's race. Coming to lap 19. Pace car is in. Back at it once again. After caution number 2. This good. You see him back there already looking to make up ground on the inside. Very slippery. Turns 1 and 2 on the initial jump. Oh, very slippery indeed. That's Brian Johnson. What a save. That could have been either outside wall overcorrect or something way worse. As Stenzo slips back. Biscuit gains a spot there. Ryan Johnson, though, back to 4th. Ken Hansen up to 3rd. And in all that melee, Dan Francesconi back to the lead. Boy, wouldn't that be a way to cap it off? To win it. That would be three CCR streams in a row if he manages to win it. He would have clean sweep these last 2 weeks here on the channel. Tex, though, sticking with him. Ken Hansen waiting in the wings there, a couple car lengths back. Once again, the field starts to spread out here. Tex with a nice run there off the corner is going to opt to stick with the 16. Yeah, we saw as the run went on, that inside lane started to suffer. Guys looked like we're needing to check up way more. We'll see if that occurs again. If maybe that's why Tex seems to be running about a lane higher. Exactly what he's going to do here. Going to get a nice run. Very nice run. Jen clears himself there, albeit only just. And Tex is being patient with him. Gives him the push. But Ken Hansen closes about a car length or 2. And Ryan Johnson sneaking his way forward here in the 59, trying to make up ground that he just lost there. Also in this picture there, that's Jason Dolfer, the 63. He just ran his personal best of the race. And is now well and truly in the picture here. There goes Tex once again. This time he sweeps down low. But loses that draft and will settle back in line. Ken Hansen up the track. Ryan Johnson will take that spot. Tell you what, though, Texas being very patient with the 16 here. As Den cuts off the draft, trying to cut off some distance through that dog leg. This top 5 starting to get a little more condensed. Ryan Johnson trying to make the move. He's not going to quite have the draft, although Dolfer's trying to help him. And Biscuit's inching in here as well. I'm watching him. Whoa, Tex. That's a little too high. Ryan Johnson's going to try and take that, saying, "Thank you, good sir." Den tries to cover it. And look at this for Ryan Johnson. He will actually get to the inside of the 16, who goes way up into the gray. Almost 3 wide for second. And Biscuit's loving what he's seeing up there. That is letting him inch closer to this pack. And that's what he needs to do as they run at the moment. If he's going to have a chance at this, he's got to get himself into this fray. Jason Dolfer, though, looking very, very sporty himself. He's going to take 3rd place from the Aero88. As they race on and race hard. I mean, with Texas World, it creates for some great racing. But yeah, this spread out 5-car group has now become a condensed 5-car group, and it's about to be 6. Checking further back here, Greg Stenzo, Brad Otto are 7th and 8th. CCR Bandit, yeah, he's having a struggle of a night. He's the last car on the track at the moment. 35 laps to go, now 34. And Francesconi giving a shove there to Ryan Johnson, who leads it at the moment. Tex now going way up. Certainly not losing too much. But yeah, I think it's a little too high. That I don't think you're going to gain much from doing that. As Biscuit gets by Ken Hansen and is going to try the inside to try and make up some more ground. We're maybe starting to reach a point now where tire wear could be starting to come into play just a bit. And will start to affect the speed of these cars. At least in the draft. As Francesconi is going to look to take it back. I think he should be able to get it here, only just. Ryan Johnson gave him some grace there, but he's going to cut down and try the crossover. Nice run here for the 59. And with the shoulder way around here on the dog leg, should clear himself. Jason Dolfer lets Den in there. But Biscuit continued to try to make up spots. And now he gets way down there, and yep, there's that tight condition. You don't want to end up on that gray patch on the bottom, it looks like. Once these tires get some wear on them, that seems like the trouble spot. Get too low, you have to check up a bit more, maybe unless you arc it perfectly, as we just saw from some of these guys. I don't know, it's interesting. Kind of how it's playing out. As Jason Dolfer looking to take P2. I do remember that about this version of Texas World where there was one groove. I thought it was more in the middle of the track where it's like you hit it and you just lose every ounce of speed imaginable. There's no grip at all. And that could be what's happening on the inside lane for this one. And I got the 2 championship contenders right there together. 3rd and 4th. Of course, Den's still with the advantage. And even if Biscuit does pass him here, he would still have to get up there and take the lead in order to have a chance. Of course, if Biscuit wins the race, that would, I do believe, if he wins and Den finishes 4th, pretty sure that would be Championship Biscuit, because I think then that would put them in a tie. And then Biscuit with that win would move himself to 3 wins. Francesconi would have 2. So the advantage would go to the 97. If that were to happen, of course. We still got ways to go here. We just entered the second half of this race. And man, Texas going higher. Too high. And has to catch it. And that may cost him the draft. Still, great save, though. But yeah, it looks like these gray areas on the track are not what you want. Ryan Johnson, though, doing a fantastic job. He's trying to break the draft, trying to keep the shortest way around the track as he can. Jason Dolfer, though, sticking right there with him. And doing a fantastic job here. This has been a great showing so far out of the 63. Once again, there's Ryan trying to break the draft. And Den and Biscuit just kind of sitting, waiting in the wings currently. Ken Hansen not far behind. But hoping to try to keep with the draft here. That's going to be crucial. With that caution, I would imagine these guys will probably be looking to pit in 5 laps. It won't be long at this point, since most, if not all, these guys stayed out during that second yellow. And the big thing is, though, who's going to short pit, who's going to go long, and you definitely want to pit with somebody. You got to have draft. Undercut versus overcut ain't going to matter if you ain't got draft. Ooh, Jason, a little bit of a run here. Take a peek to the outside. See if he can try to get a run around here. Ooh, he's got some speed. Enough to take it? Not quite. Oh, here we go. Looking to take the lead for the first time in this race is that 63. And he'll have the short way around the dogleg this time. Ken Hansen has closed back in, but Jason Dolfer will take a lap lead. But Ryan's right there with him, right on his door. Jason trying to keep it that little half lane higher, trying to keep it out of the gray, but he is now clear for the time being. Still a 5-horse race here. Well, we are coming to 24 laps to go this time, and Ryan Johnson's going to bring it in. He is the first, but he is the only one of this group as he gets it down to 60 miles an hour. Okay, I've seen guys going 55, I've seen guys going 60, and now 65. I don't know what pit road speed is anymore. As long as he doesn't get a penalty, then we'll know that it's fine. So that was with 25 coming to 24 to go. We are now coming to 23. Who pits? If anybody. That's a nobody. Top 4 stay out. That will benefit them since they all have draft. As we got some guys coming out of the pits there, as Bob Dixon has hopped on track. Running his 7th lap. So that puts him minus 30. So he will officially have 12. And if he keeps running it out, he could get himself a top 10. Let's see who pits this time. It's going to be 16. And he's going to be the only one of this group. Very, very conservative entry here. So we'll see what that will do for him there. Ryan Johnson is getting a little bit of a draft off of the 51 and is going to get by him on fresher tires. Let's see who blinks this time, if anybody. Dolfer's going to bring it in. He's going to be a little more bold. But that's looking pretty darn sporty right there. Great pit entry for that 63. Francesconi coming out. Biscuit remains on the racetrack. Ken Hansen with him. And now that they're down to 2 and there's a little bit of separation between them, is this going to hurt them? That I'm not sure. Ryan Johnson has certainly breezed past the 16. I'm sure a lot of that came down to pit road entry. Speaking of which, Biscuit trying to get everything that he can. That may have been too much. Oh, he might get bopped for that one. He was doing well over 90 when he crossed the line. If that's a speeding penalty and we don't get a yellow flag soon, that might be it. for his championship hopes. Ryan Johnson, though, is flying. He just easily breezed past Dolfer. Rick Stenzo's still with him. He's going to try to pass him. Pretty sure that is not actually for position, but yep, 51 will take it. Here comes the 97 and 94 coming off pit lane now. Actually, it looks like they should be in pretty good shape, provided there was no penalty. Watching closely. He stays out for now. He may have gotten away with it. Some tracks have more forgiving pit lanes than others. This one may be more forgiving. And now how the tables have turned. Biscuit is in the race lead. Ken Hansen from second spins it. Caution is out. He's in the middle of the groove. Bandit through the grass. As they were running, Francesconi was fifth. That could have been a big swing in the championship there, but now the field is going to stack back up. What a bummer for Ken. Brand new tires. And while, yeah, they're grippy, they're also a little more slippery when you're getting them up to temperature. And unfortunately, Calamity Corner has struck right there. Oh, that's a brute there for the 94. Tough break. For a guy who was having a really good run going. So, interesting. Biscuit in the race lead. Ryan Johnson second, Jason Dolfer third, and Den is fourth. What was it that I said about Biscuit winning and Francesconi finishing fourth? They both have laps led. Although we might be seeing a mixed bag strategy here. Looks like tires could be the way to go. For the 59, the 63. And with Ryan pitting the earliest, can't really fault him for this. Gonna opt to give himself a little more of an edge as far as handling goes. Dex is also in. That's Brad Otto. There's Ken bringing it in. Jason Dolfer also in as well, and he's been showing some great speed. So now the top two in the championship are top two in the race. Although it's Biscuit in the race lead. Greg Stenzo a lap down. Currently as they run. 51 and 00 both a lap down. 143 just has to, I believe, run another handful of laps here. And then he should get himself into that top 10. Hey, more cars the merrier. Love to see it. And forget Caleb Lingle hopping on track in Hobo at Darlington. I believe that he was 100 laps down. And decided to come on out there and putz around a little bit. Lap cars are going to pit here. And would you believe this? That strategy call did not hurt Ryan Johnson at all. It cost him one position. Same for Dolfer. And now that they've got the fresher tires, This might be their race to lose. However, you still got the championship in the balance here between that 97 and 16. Gonna be a thrilling final 14 laps here, which I believe is how many we'll have when we take the green here. I'm going to take just a short little breather here before we get to it. We'll get back to it once we get one to green with Biscuit in the race lead, and this thing is heating up real hot. It's go time here in Texas. Go big or go home. Everything's bigger in Texas, as they say. And this is going to be a big one. Championship on the line. Race win on the line. Top two on slightly older tires. Biscuit, his tires ain't all that old. Francesconi, maybe a lap or two older than the 97. Brand new tires for everyone behind those two. A super speedway style race like this, though, will that be the difference maker? This is gonna be good. I mentioned it earlier. Dan Francesconi even being in the position that he's in, leading the standings, given the method that he has to use to drive, it is mighty impressive that he is in the position that he is to be as competitive as he is. I said it before, I'll say it again. I just hope that he takes pride in the season that he's had and what he's been able to accomplish. So win or lose, incredible to even be in this position. But let's see if he can pull it off, or if Biscuit is going to be able to make it rain. Let's find out here in 14 laps time who the winner and champion will be. First, we gotta navigate 1 and 2 here. It's gonna be slippery, very slippery for Biscuit. Ryan Johnson already getting past Den. And that's gonna be 2 championship contenders into each other. Biscuit to the inside. And no caution. He wasn't clear. And I think that just sealed the deal for the 16 and this championship. Race is still on, though. Can he go out on top? Jason Dolfer going to try for second here on the 63. Nothing else seems to have happened there in turn 3. Not too sure. I'm not seeing anything else. So we're looking good at the moment. Ryan Johnson remains clear in second place. Take a peek with a great run on entry. I'm sure it's helped by those fresh tires. I don't think Jen's going to find it too hard at this point. Or maybe he will. Get that third win. Get you some. Although Ryan is now clear. Still got 11 laps to go here. This ain't no sprint. This is a good ways to the finish here. Oh, by the way, Tex is up here as well now. In 4th place. And Greg Stenzo is on the lead lap, I believe. And he is, so he's in this fight. Making out the free pass there. As Francescone slips back to 3rd, maybe 4th. Again, no matter to him at this point. With 10 laps to go and his championship rival just trying to survive after he wasn't quite clear. Trying to make that pass and just couldn't quite get it. Ryan Johnson trying to break the draft here on Dolfer. Dolfer's going to try to the inside anyway. And compromise his entry. But man, Jason's had a great car. He could definitely still be in it with a chance here. Den back up to 3rd. Like I said, Tex and Stenzo are both here and with a chance. Den pushes up the track. Number 16 is on older tires compared to these others. Man, look at how much speed they're carrying through these corners. They ain't saving nothing. Dolfer trying a little lane higher there, trying to get a run. He's got a small one with 8 to go. Can he get to the outside? He's got drafting help. He's got a fan in chat as well. Oh, Tex way up the track. That's the wall. Ryan Johnson breaking the slipstream again. Gonna force the 63 to try and go about it the hard way. Oh, if he doesn't push up the track after hitting the apron. Jason takes evade action. That will allow the 16 to get a run here and get back to P2. 7 to go. Ooh, Den definitely backing up his corner entry there. Trying to get the run off. It's not going to work. They're actually catching Biscuit here to put him a lap down. That's not how you wanted to see a championship fight end. But that's just hard racing. Jason trying to get that 2nd position back. Den with the run and the draft. Closes right back in on the 59. 97 keeps it low. Ooh, this could get a little interesting. That 97 is definitely no slouch on speed. Gonna try and file in line. Oh no, are you serious? Down in line gets back into his rival. Oh, I don't know how well that's gonna fly. Doesn't matter, Jen's still with the championship position, but now out of it as far as winning the race. As Tex goes up the track and hits the wall again. And now it's down to 3. Ryan Johnson, Jason Dolfer, Greg Stenzo. Dolfer, another good run. Coming to 4 laps to go. Ryan Johnson remains pinned to that inside, forcing Jason to go about it the hard way. Although Jason's going to get a big arc here. The run could come to him this time. All the way down low goes Ryan, just like he has been. Good Jason, I think you got to back up that entry just a little and then try to power it off. Not too much. I end up losing more ground than you gain. That's 3 laps to go. Ryan Johnson running a beautiful race so far. I think Jason may have just heard me there or something. He checked up just a bit. Is Greg willing to help him out, or is he going to try to take that position for himself? First, we'll see, but... Ooh, Greg, a nice run, but he is going to push up there a little bit. 2 laps to go. And again, Ryan Johnson running incredibly skilled and patient here. Not feeling the pressure of that 63 behind him. Although the 63 is back with him once again, that's going to force Ryan to take that defensive low line yet again. And this time, faking him out. But that's the apron. That's going to push the 63 up the track. White flag is going to fly here at Texas World. What a race that this has proven to be. Just to confirm, Dan Francesconi, he is back up to 4th. He got past Tex. That championship is looking like his, no doubt. It is on for this race win, though, if Dolfer can try to get a run here off of 2. Breaking the draft again. Car length separating them. Both guys sending it with everything that they've got. But what a skilled drive out of Ryan Johnson. Win number 4 on the season, and he wins the last of the season. The 59 back to victory lane, and it comes at Texas World. Great run for all 3 of those guys. And again, that is a skilled driver right there, is Ryan Johnson. And while, he was going defensive that entire time, he was on the inside the whole time trying to break the draft. He did not make any unforced errors. He kept a cool head and just a flawless drive of getting it to victory lane and getting to burn it down for all you folks watching at home. We've seen Ryan Johnson win a few races here on the channel, so that's cool to see him get yet another one. And letting it all hang out there in the grass. Awesome. Awesome stuff.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen?
There's Tower, Jeff Havoc. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. And Dan Francesconi.
Yep, he is our Friday Night Championship for this season. Wins it.
Beautiful stuff there. And I was hyping him up, saying that is so impressive. Knowing that just given his situation, being as competitive as he is, such a huge drive and such an impressive deal what he's able to do. Ryan's still letting it go.
And we don't give him any breaks either. We race him just like anybody else, and he still wins it. So hats off to him. We're going to get him in here, if you would, Andrew, and talk to him and our top three finishers.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Just before we do that, I'll just go down these results real quick. Like I said, Ryan Johnson winning it, holding off Jason Dolfer beautifully, and Greg
User
Stenzo
left your channel.
finishing P3. Dan Francesconi emerges fourth, and with the championship, Tex will emerge with the top 5 as well. Brad Otto sixth,
User joined your channel.
Biscuit seventh, Bandit. Ken Hansen ended up retiring from the race there. He will finish in 9th.
User was
Bob
moved to your
Dixon,
channel.
Bob
User
Visconti,
was
Jeff
moved to
Havoc.
your channel.
The full finishing results, and it is a full house in here already. We'll go down the line here. We'll start with our third place finisher, and that is Mr. Stenzo. Do you copy, good sir?
Yes, sir. I got you, Andrew. How you doing?
I'm doing well after seeing a great race like that. A
User
third
was
place
moved to
finish
your
for you.
channel.
And that was the farthest up that you were all night. But man, once you got up into that lead draft, you were right there as far as speed goes. And being able to get back on the lead lap, you were very competitive sticking with those guys. Just tell me though, racing there with Ryan and Jason there for the final few laps, what was the thought process of being behind Jason there, trying to push him or trying to pass him?
Well, first I was just trying to catch up to him. Once I, got a good couple runs coming off of that lucky dog and made my way back up front, or not back up front, but to the front. And I was just fine to settle in behind Jason and push him. We were practicing earlier and drafting well together and had a couple of fast laps. So I was fine being just settled in there. But then circumstances presented themselves where I was able to make up some spots. So I thought, well, maybe if I can get up close enough, I might be able to go for the second position and maybe go for Ryan. But I didn't have enough drafting, and Ryan was doing a good job breaking the draft as best he could, and so it kept us back there, I think. But it sure was fun.
It was fun seeing you guys up there. I know you mentioned about getting that lucky dog. Throughout the race, were there any adjustments that you had to make in order to get up there to be as competitive as you were, or just needed some track position?
Mostly just track position. I didn't make any adjustments at all in the pits. I was just careful on the first lap on cold tires and restart. And so I fell to the back, every time there was a restart because I didn't want to wreck. But once my tires got warmed up, man, it was wide open, man.
Wide open indeed. Fantastic run out of that Marlboro machine. A beautiful, beautiful scheme, I must say.
Thank you.
So awesome run for you, dude. We'll get to, of course, these other guys here. But before I do, anytime that we get someone up here in the booth, if you'd like to give any closing remarks, shout outs, pretty much anything that you want, the floor is all yours to do just that.
Okay, great. Thank you. First, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I also want to thank my team, Speedland, with Steve and Wiley and others in Speedland that I've raced with for over 25 years. I also want to give credit to Jeff Havoc for preparing this awesome setup that we all three of us used tonight and finished 1, 2, 3 with that. And so I also want to thank the administrators here at CCR with Tex and Jeff Havoc, and if I'm maybe not forgetting anybody, but Donald Ritchie and the other admins that put on this league. It's a great place to race and have a lot of fun.
Hey, yeah, I keep saying it to everybody watching. If you don't race over here at CCR, great place to give it a try. But
Yeah.
Greg, a great run for you, my man. Nicely done.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, Andrew. Thank you.
Gladly, man. We'll move up to P2. That is Jason Dolfer. Got a copy, Jason?
Yeah, I got you clear.
Right on, man. Right there with Ryan throughout that run, and even at many points during some of those long runs that we had, you were making your way forward. You had a great car. Tell me what it was like driving that thing, because I know, as Greg said there, you guys were pretty much all running the same setup, but you especially seemed like you had that thing dialed in pretty nicely.
Well, yeah, thanks. And yeah, that setup was awesome. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, I did a lot of laps in practice, and I could drive it wherever I wanted to. I knew I could hug it really low coming out of turn 4, and that helped me make the move a few times. And yeah, it was so awesome running with Ryan. Man, he makes it really hard for me to get around. And yeah, man, that's what it's like around here. I love racing with all these guys here. And yeah, it was a great setup, and I really had a great time. Thanks.
It looked like a lot of fun for sure. Was there anything else that you felt you could have done to try to pass him, aside from crashing him, of course, which I wouldn't have blamed you. No, I'm just kidding.
No, man, he is a wise racer, man. He knows all the tricks. He knows how to keep a car behind him, and I learn from him every single race, and I look up to him, and we treat each other with respect. That's all the drivers do here, and so I keep on coming back. It's an awesome place to race, and I don't know what I could have done. I tried everything I could, and man, he wouldn't let me around. But that's what it's all about. So I wouldn't expect him to. But hats off to him. Man, he did a great job, and I was just happy to be here. And hey, I love these broadcast races, and it's just thanks for putting these on, man. As soon as I get done here, I'm gonna be watching it.
The pleasure is all mine. I always say that. And yeah, props to you for racing him. Yeah, hard yet
User
respectful,
joined your channel.
yet respectfully. That's what we love to see. Jason, though, of course, before we let you go, whatever closing thoughts you want to give, my man, it's yours.
All right, thanks. Well, yeah,
User disconnected
thanks to
from
all the
your channel.
admins that put all the show on here, and all the drivers that come in, and my lovely girlfriend that allows me to do this and have fun. She was sitting down here, and all the other fans. I don't know if anybody joined in, but I talked up this race to all my buddies at work, and if they showed up, man, hey, thanks, guys. And anybody else, their family members, I don't know if anybody gave me a shout out. I don't know if anybody pays attention, but I don't know. I have fun doing it, so I don't know. I thank you for everything you guys do, and man, I hope to do more of it. Thanks.
Hoping to be out here plenty more. And you definitely did have a fan in the chat there. Hey, Michael said, "Let's go, Jay," while you were fighting there for the win. So you definitely had someone out there rooting for you. But
That's
I
cool.
guess
Thank
that's what
you.
I was referring to. But great run, man. That was super cool.
All right. Thank you.
And on that, we've got two more interviews here. We'll get our race winner followed by our champion. We'll start with Ryan Johnson here. Ryan, do you copy?
Copy.
We've talked to you a few times before, man, but hey, it is on the CCRN this time. A big win, a fantastic burnout, I must say.
Well, thank you.
I know, hey, as they said, you were running pretty much the same setup. But again, though, you got to find a way to drive it and get it to last. But I will also ask you this. On that final run, do you think those new tires helped you?
I think they probably helped a little bit. That's why I went down pit road. It looked like Jason followed suit. I think that was the right call, just because that little bit of tire wear, and the tires are a little bit warmer when you change them versus staying out on cold tires, as you know, as being part of this sim. So I think it helped. I was kind of slippery all night. It was kind of sketchy here and there. I kept hitting the apron, couldn't find my line how I wanted to, but there towards the end, just pulled a little bit of draft manipulation when guys were running side by side behind me, and I knew Jason was going to be coming up strong because he had the run before. So yeah, I held that low line, and there was a couple times he about got down below me, but he kept it clean, and thank you for that, Jason. Appreciate it. We always try and race each other clean but hard, but yeah, I was just able to hold on. I figured if I could hold that low line, it would be hard to get around me, so it is what it is. It was a good race. It was fun stuff.
Oh, a lot of fun watching it, for sure. I guess only other thing that really comes to my mind is, yeah, obviously you're trying to break the draft. You're trying to keep it to the low line as much as you can to make them have to go around the hard way. But I guess Texas World, of course, being a track that is not super duper utilized in a lot of places. So was there much that you were able to kind of fall back on as far as knowing, all right, this is what I got to do, this is how I got to do it? Because I'm sure that based on your experience, probably there's been some times that you've had to deploy that. So what's that like coming to a track like this?
Yeah, I mean, had a lot of experience. We raced this track a lot back when FSB was running. I'm not sure if you're familiar with FSB racing, but yeah, raced there for many years, and this was always, it seemed like it was always on the schedule, especially for the Aero88s and trucks, which is basically the same mod. So had some experience coming into it. Shout out to Jeff Havoc. I downloaded the setup, didn't even run a practice lap before qualifying with it. Never made a change to it. Like I said, it's a little slippery, but it worked out great. So without Jeff, I wouldn't be sitting up here. I'm not good at setting up my own cars, and Jeff always throws setups at me, and I really appreciate him for that because I just don't have time to do it. I log in late, learn the race as I go along.
You somehow find a way to pull it off, whether it's Hobo or here, which is impressive. And hey, it's obviously worked out for you. You got win number 4 on this little season here. So
yeah, missed a
pretty
few
impressive.
Fridays. So otherwise, I think I'd have been giving Den a run for his money. But congratulations to Den. Fantastic job. I think you've wrapped up a couple championships this past week or so. So good job to Den.
Den's been on fire here lately, which is pretty cool. But a great run for you and another big win. And again, man, just a masterful drive. Not letting the pressure get to you of having Jason right up you there. So awesome stuff. Of course, before we let you go, man, whatever you want to close out with.
Yeah, again, good race, Jason. Fantastic championship, Den. Thank you to everyone here at CCR. I'm a fellow admin, but to all my other admins, Jeff Havoc, Tex, Al, Donald Ritchie, who was not here tonight. I don't know why he wasn't here, but everyone that helps put on the show here. It's just, we're so laid back. It's such a good group of guys. We just come in here to have fun. We don't take it too serious, but we have fun with it. So thank you to Greg. I believe you put the money towards the broadcast, and someone else. I don't know who that was. Thank you for that. And thank you to you, Andrew, for coming out and putting on the broadcast and letting us showcase what we do like you always do. So appreciate that.
Just have some fun putting the word out there, my man. Great win, and looking forward to seeing you here in the future. Probably on Tuesday night, of course.
Hopefully so. Need to get it gathered up on Tuesday night. Maybe get another win at Hobo.
Hey, hopefully so, my man. We'll see you then, of course.
All right.
So that is our top 3 finishers of the night. However, the 4th place finisher is going to be the main celebrity of the full season. The champion, Den Francesconi, gets it. Den, do you copy?
Yes, sir.
Den, I was hyping you up, my man, especially after hearing your story. I was just gonna say the fact that you're out here at all is incredibly impressive. The fact that you're as competitive as you are is a feat in its own right. And you're out here winning these championships. You get it tonight after being competitive the entire race. But man, you got to be taking some pride in what you're able to accomplish.
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing just to be out here with these guys and to be able to be competitive like that. It was anybody can win these races. Everybody has won these races here. Certain guys are a little more dominant than others, but the racing is clean and it's hard. And I've just figured out a way. I've figured out a way to do this, given what the game allows me to do. And yeah, it feels great to be as competitive as I am. So I have a blast with it.
We have a blast watching you, man. I guess just coming into tonight, I'm curious just about kind of what the mentality was coming into a race like Texas World, where it's so tight knit, knowing that you at least had that 4-point cushion, but still, that's only 4 points, so it wasn't exactly much. What was the mindset as you came into the race, and then kind of as you went about it throughout the night?
Coming in, that 4 points was in my mind, but it was nothing at a track like this. It may as well be Daytona or Talladega. I mean, anything can happen. And it can happen up in front of you, a couple of cars, and the speeds we're going, and depending on where on the track, can you avoid it? Can you get away with it? If you do lift and avoid to miss what's going on in front of you, are you going to get tattooed from behind it? All of that was in place. So I was trying to be out front as much as I could. It was fun racing with Tex up there at first. And by the way, I did not have Jeff set up. Everybody else seemed to have it in front of me, but I did not have it, and I was fun racing with Tex up there for a while. And then I got by him, and then a little bit later, Ryan came into the mix, and we swapped that one back and forth a couple of times. But he was fast again, as he always is, and we've had so many battles. So I just kind of settled in, and I just tested it here and there, trying to make moves and get around people when I had to, because I really wanted to win. I mean, that was foremost on my mind was, yeah, not just the champion. I wasn't racing for points. I was trying to keep the car clean, but I wanted to win that race. So you saw how that all worked out.
Yeah, but hey, regardless, you you got the racer's mentality, just going for that win, and just putting on a fun race with these guys, and ultimately, and I'm sure all these guys can confirm that at the end of the day, yep, you guys are just having fun racing with each other, racing as hard as you can, and that's the vibe that I get here, and that's the I think what it should be all about everywhere and anywhere, and I love it. So, really cool on you guys for uh, just racing it up. And it's like, well, championship would be great, but let's go for that race win. I like that. That's cool.
Right. And on that last restart behind Biscuit, I had a huge run, and shout out to him. He was having a great night. He was where he needed to be. I had a big run on that restart. I don't know how it played out on airing, but I was going to the outside, and I did not think he was going to come back up in front of me. That was, I lifted, but it was just too late. And as small as that touch was, it just sent him sailing. He was along for the ride after that. And then I don't know what really happened. I'll have to see the replay when the leaders caught up to him, and they cut under him. And then right when I was getting there to do the same thing, he pulled down in front of me, and I went to the outside. And somebody said he touched the apron and came up, but we had a little tiny bit of contact. And then I was along for the ride because wide open, it just wanted to go towards the fence. So I lifted completely, let it go all the way up there, and I managed to get back down without really hitting it and get back in line and draft back up. But man, I wanted to be in that shootout at the end. So, but anyway, it was a blast. I had nothing but fun tonight.
It was fun to watch the entire time. Yep, that first time around, he just wasn't quite clear, and that's just one of those hard racing deals. But hey, regardless of whatever that second deal was, the championship is yours. You've got every bit or every right um, to take some pride in that. And like I said, being as competitive as you were to be up there with the chance of the win, even if it wasn't quite the win for you, still, I think you've definitely proven just how competitive you can be, regardless of whatever situation you're in. So it's an inspiration, and like I said, I hope that you take some pride in knowing that. So great job on dominating these last three races in various ways here on the channel that we've done for CCR. Of course, before we let you go here, though, whatever you would like to close out with for the night, you have the floor, champ.
Thank you, sir. I'll keep it short. Shout out to you. Awesome job. I haven't even seen it yet, but the other ones I saw were amazing. I can't wait to see this one, and looking forward to many more. To everybody in this league, it's a blast racing with them. So shout out to all of them and all the admins that keep this thing running tight, running smooth and on time, and handling anything that comes up. They do a great job, and it's just a blast to run here. And lastly, shout out to my wife, who keeps me healthy, working, and also gives me the ability to come in here and play. And I have a blast doing that. And I love her, and she just keeps me going. I don't know if I'd be here without her. So I just want to say that. And thanks again. Thanks to everybody.
Thank you. So great job, great finish, and a great championship. Yeah, just again, such an inspiration, and hopefully keep up some good momentum going into the following season, my man.
Thank you, sir. Hope to put on a good show on some more broadcasts in the future. So thanks again, and we'll see you.
I'll see you then. Hoping to join in here at CCR here soon. I'm sure we will. But until then, though, it's always a pleasure. being out here with these guys. It's a pleasure doing all these leagues that we do. Like I said, prime time, Saturday night shootout tomorrow night, and then Fast Racing League on Sunday night, and then back to Hobo on Tuesday as that season starts to wind down. But again, a big congrats to Ryan Johnson on the race victory, Dan Francesconi with the championship, and thank you to everyone at CCR for, as Dan said, just a good, clean ship that they run over here. Great place to race, especially if you're trying out some open setup stuff. They run pretty hardcore over here, especially on the realistic weather nights. That gets pretty interesting. But we will see everybody tomorrow, hopefully, for the Saturday night shootout. And until then, though, thank you for tuning in. A good evening to all.